Hi and welcome. How is everybody doing? Excellent. I'm Charli. I'm your host for the next hour. I've had lots of viewers contacting me that are asking me psychic development questions and where to begin with it. So I thought we might discuss that today. I will also post the link to the live studio if you would like to join me for live readings for the second half of the show. And you can continue to hear the podcast within that studio. It is a first come, first served basis, and I'll try to get to as many of you as I possibly can. Okay, so here's my disclaimer first. My way is not the only way. My way is just that. It's mine. It is not a better way. It is not the only right way. It's simply my way that I'm choosing to share with you and hopefully to encourage your development. Okay, so I'm going to post that where you guys can see. There we go. Hello. It's so good to see you guys. Hello. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So, okay, now that I have that squared away, I swear to you, I feel like I need 2 or 3 extra hands when I go to do all of this. Okay. So let's get to the topic, which is psychic development and where to start. One of the very first questions I have for inquiring students is, why do you want to pursue metaphysics? In my experience, if you're coming from a space that wants to help someone or to assist them to see their path more clearly or to provide assistance to spirit, encouraging their path, then you're most definitely going to prevail. Not only greatly, but quickly. Now, if you want to be the cool kid at the party and kind of flex those psychic skills, in my opinion, what I have seen is it's most likely you're going to struggle to develop. That doesn't mean you're not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're going to struggle to develop. But before you blow up my comments going, what? Let me explain why. In my experience, psychic development is nothing more than a byproduct of your spiritual growth. Quite honestly, I have seen lots of people who have come into psychic training or mediumship training, and they truly want to make a difference. They truly want to help other people. They have the calling, I guess you would say, within them. And it's actually a growth, a spiritual growth within themselves. They understand when you are going through training, you start to understand yourself better. And when you start to understand yourself better, then you can have a perspective from another person. You can look at it and go, oh, I know where they're coming from. And I call that a third party perspective. And once you can do that, you understand yourself, why you react the way that you react, why you say the things that you do, why there is no reaction at some times, at some points. There are critical steps within that is really self-improvement at its core. I think last year, I hope I'm not wrong, it was last year or the year before, because there's always like a theme of the year with spiritual development, what I have observed anyways. And I believe it was last year or the year before that was shadow work. And I was so excited to see that there were so many people that were out there that really wanted to explore themselves, really explore where they were coming from. Um, why do I have these reactions? What are my perceived blocks? Where do I need to really look at things in my reaction to now that may have been trauma from when I was younger? And with that comes a better perception of self. And naturally, you start to fall in alignment with your path. Naturally, your vibration begins to go into alignment with where you're going. You have this goal, what you want, and it will naturally gravitate towards that. But before I get too far, as I kind of wander down that road of development, the very first thing that I think that you should work on is your spiritual hygiene. I preach this like loud, very loudly. I believe in it. It works. It is fantastic. And if you've never heard of spiritual hygiene, it's just like we have to wash our bodies for physical hygiene. We have to take a shower every day, or we kind of have the yuck that's going on with whatever we did during our day. It's the same thing with spiritual hygiene. We need to make sure that our aura is nice and clean and clear, and we're not carrying around the yuck from people that we have interacted with. If you are connecting with a multitude of people, you are exchanging energy. Right now, even though there's this computer screen in front of us, I am speaking with you. If you are speaking with me, we are exchanging energy. It's that simple. You're taking some of mine, I'm taking some of yours. There is that exchange that's happening. Now, depending on the vibration of the person, if they're higher or if they're lower, is going to depend on how that affects your aura. If they're having a bad day, if they're feeling down in the dumps, if they're sick, or if they are just the type of person that really can't get out of their way, you're going to collect that within the aura. You have to cleanse it, you have to clear it. And there's a multitude of things that you can do to do that. What I tell everybody, because I like nice, easy, and expensive ways. And to me, Florida water, man, it's so easy. You can get it anywhere. Now, if you're really gung ho, can you make your own? Absolutely, you can. Absolutely, positively. Now, I have 5 kids. I have a business. I have always been a very, very, very busy person. So, in order for me to do that, that came much later in life. That wasn't when I was in my 20s, 30s, and not even in my late 30s did I ever do that. I had to wait until my lifestyle kind of could accommodate me doing that type of work. But Florida water is super easy. You can purchase it anywhere, literally anywhere. And you can spritz that right on you. You can spritz it and it will clear your aura. Sounds hokey. I know it does. Try it. Just try it. What could happen? And what I say, don't take it at face value. Question everything. That's huge. Never just accept. Test it out. See how you feel after. I recommend adding a couple of additives as you mature and you start growing in your development. I definitely say, you're going to want to add a pinch of this, a little bit of that, but nothing crazy, nothing extraordinary. Straight Florida water will absolutely make a difference. Absolutely, it will. You want to throw a couple of drops of holy water, blessed water, sure, that's going to amp it up. You want to add pink salt to it, Himalayan salt, sure, that'll amp it up. I mean, we can keep adding things to it and that will amp it up even more. But you can use straight up Florida water. You can buy it at Etsy, which is going to be really expensive. You can go to Amazon, and that's probably the cheapest place you're going to find it. Does anybody have any questions thus far regarding spiritual hygiene? I'm trying to see everybody in the comments. Let's see. Post it again. Okay. And huge shout out to Christine. She's such a doll. She is coordinating everybody in the comments. She's the moderator. Hello, Tom, Alicia, Matt. Who else do we have? Colette, Megan. Hello. Wow, I've got a whole group here. Joanne. Let's see. Wow, that's awesome. Christina. Oh, hello, Nighthawk. How are ya? Oh, hello, April. It's so cool. You guys are great. Thank you. Yeah, Christine is a doll. Okay, so let's see. Megan has a question here. Let's throw that up here. Some people say that saging could potentially make things worse. I myself personally had a very bad experience using sage. Is there a risk using Florida water? So, okay. Now, if you have really heavy energy in your environment, right? And you have heavy energy with you as well. And I use the word heavy because I hate the word negative. I just do. It comes with such a heavy connotation that's attached to it. And, you know, in this line of work, you say negative and everybody like goes straight to demons, you know, and it's like, no. Heavy energy. Heavy energy can be thought processes that are just not for your best and highest good that you're regurgitating. But heavy energy in general. Okay, let's even throw an attachment in there just for shits and giggles. Okay, so we're going to throw that in there. If you're saging yourself, can you make it potentially worse saging yourself? No, you can't make it potentially worse. What you can do is cause it to shift out of the aura and feel worse, but it's not going to make the circumstances worse. It's not going to draw more to you. It's trying to eradicate it. Now, with Florida water, it's essentially the same thing. You are clearing the aura. You are sending, literally, you're sending the vibration of that Florida water through your aura to cleanse it and clear it. I hope that made sense. But no, it's not going to make it worse. Not going to make it worse. In almost 30 years, I have never heard of it making it worse. So I hope that's helpful. What was I'm sorry, I know that sounds crazy, but what was your experience that was, that had made it bad using sage? I'm just curious. That's how my brain works. So if you want to throw that up in the comments, or, you know, if at all, that would be awesome. It does. Okay, let's see. It does. I never use Florida water, but I've been hearing a lot about it recently. Yeah, I'm telling you, it is super cheap. It's effective and it works. It will literally raise the vibration and clear the aura. It's a huge staple that I have. Gosh, I don't even know how long. It's like almost 30 years. So I've been doing this since I was 19. So I'm an old chickie by now. But yeah, for sure. Florida water, it is absolutely a mainstay product. I recommend every single person who is a practitioner or has the intention of developing, use it. But I think every human should have it in general. And thank you so much for your comment. I appreciate that. You know what's really cool about this too is if you have people who can't handle because of lung issues, if they can't handle a lot of smoke in the environment, you can also do that. It has a very light scent. It's not overpowering. It's not intrusive, and you can use that again as a replacement. Hello, Jennifer. Nice to see you, love. Yeah, definitely a really great tool to use. Does anybody else have any questions in regards to that Florida water? Okay. If you do, just throw them up there. I'm just going to keep yapping, okay? So the second thing that you can also do, I really am not one of those people that have a lot of time to do, like, I'm going to take a bath every night. I don't have that kind of time. I am a jump in the shower kind of person. Let's do it and get over it, and move on with my day. So I have found bath scrubs to be extremely helpful. And I know they have all these really jazzy bath bombs and shower bombs that you can just throw in the bottom of the tub, and they're great. And there's nothing wrong with that. I encourage you, anything that you can use for your spiritual hygiene, use it. But what I'm going to tell you, super cheap. It's easy. You can throw it in a jar and you just grab a handful and you can use it every day. So you want to get a cup of baking soda, and you want to get a half a cup of pink Himalayan salt, and you want to mix everything together. And if you're feeling super, super special, you can add some Florida water and like make hard little balls with it, but I don't like that. I really don't. They have Florida water hard soap. I find it to be very drying to my skin because I'm a little sensitive bitch, so I can't use it. But if you can, I wouldn't turn you away from doing it at all. I think it's fantastic. It's just me personally. Now, you can take a handful of that and literally just use it to scrub all over your body. And I know it sounds super hokey because the woman that actually told me how to do this when I first started out, I'm like, really? This is a thing? This is going to help? Huge difference. Huge difference. I also put Epsom salts in mine as well. Now, there's nothing super special about it. You can go to anywhere and buy these products. You can be as frou-frou as you want or not. You can add essential oils to them if that's what you choose to do. I didn't. Mine was straight up how it was taught to me, and that's how I've done it ever since. You just grab a small handful, and every day you're scrubbing down. Makes a huge difference. You can feel the difference. I know I can when I'm doing platforms and there's 20 people I've read for, and I feel just really weighted down energetically. After I'm done with my spiritual cleanse in the shower, I feel 100% better. I feel great. So we have another comment. Let's see. What do we have here? We lived in an apartment a long time ago that had a lot of activity. Using the sage just seemed to irritate whatever was in there. Things just started getting worse, and the energy was a lot heavier, more oppressive, and it took a toll on both of us. Absolutely. Yeah, I can see that being an issue for sure, because I agree with that assessment. I'm talking about clearing the aura. If you're talking about clearing a space, totally different thing, completely different thing. So if you're clearing the aura, You can push whatever is around you within that aura, you can push it out of your space. Now, again, if there is an attachment, that's a whole different ball of wax. Can you piss it off? Absolutely, you can. Yeah, you don't have to look very far to find stories or records on that at all. Viable information that will back that up for sure. But if you're just cleaning your personal auric space, that's completely different than being in a place or a space that has an attachment or that has an entity in it, for sure. Yeah. Great comment, though. Great comment. Hello, Anne. How are you, beautiful? Love this. Love this. So I know it sounds like, oh, that's not a big deal. That's, okay. It's just these few products I have to use. It makes a gigantic difference. The whole thing that you're learning through when you are developing is your vibration. That's what you're doing from day one, is working with your vibration. The higher that you raise your vibration, the less likely that you're going to have the opportunity for negative energies, entities to interfere with your practice. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. I said the less likely. I want to be very, very clear on that. The less likely. So you're continually working to raise that vibration. You're continually working with that. And this is a great way. It's quick, it's fast, it's easy, it's effective, and it makes you feel a lot better having practiced it. So does anybody have any other questions regarding spiritual hygiene or their thoughts on it? Hello, Joanne from Canada. Nice to see you. Beautiful. And I'll put that link up here in case y'all want to see it. Oh, wow. You know what, too? I want to take 1 second to say this. If you guys have not went to their page, you should go to their page and like their page. So Paranormal Brew, BB3 TV, and Parapost Network. Yeah, awesome, awesome team. Really good team to work with. Hi, Tom. Nice to see you too, Kristen. Excellent. Patricia. Hi, Mary. You guys are fantastic. Hello. Okay. Let's see. All right. So no questions regarding it thus far. So for the second half of the, let's see. And they are, I'm lying because they're coming in now as soon as I said it. Okay. Any suggestions or tools for people to get out of their own way when they are starting from zero? Yeah. Really, I feel like two things happen, especially when you're like, oh, I think I should, or I think I should go down this path, or I may possibly sort of maybe be psychic. It's to trust yourself, So is that getting out of your way? Yeah, I think that that's really just trusting yourself. And it's real easy for me to say to trust yourself than for you to implement it. But first and foremost, surround yourself with people that are going to cheerlead and support for you. Don't tell people that are not going to support you or cheerlead for you, because that's going to set yourself up for failure, and you want to set yourself up successfully. Now, I'm not saying go hide in a broom closet somewhere, because that's not beneficial. but be careful who you share the information with, because you need a good, sound support system. Because there's going to be moments, it's inevitable. There's going to be moments where you're like, oh my God, I think I'm crazy. This can't be for real. And you need a good support structure around you that's saying, you're perfectly sane. There's nothing wrong with you. You're good. So that's my suggestion. That's my suggestion. And I hope that was helpful. Hello, Mary. Nice to see you. Okay, let's see. We have Anne here. When I take a shower, I like to imagine the colors of the rainbow and watch all the negativity go down the drain. Perfect. Visualization is an excellent tool, and it's highly underrated. The mind is a powerful tool. And, you know, one of the first rules, I guess, I hate to use the word rule, but one of the first things that you should recognize is our intention in metaphysics is the foundation for everything. So if your mind is setting the intention that this is what is taking place, it is. Hence the word, so mote it be. Yeah. Okay. Hello, nice to see you. Yes, very, very good question. Let's see. Regarding spiritual hygiene, trust yourself. That's beautiful and key. You're so welcome. You really, really are. Find groups that you can go to, you know, like-minded souls that are traveling the same path that you are on. It's a great way to surround yourself. If you don't have that within your family or a friend support structure, there's like 5 million groups out on social media now. There's bound to be one that you're attracted to that's going to support you and you're going to feel safe in, that you can express what is happening. Because for myself, I can remember, you know, it would be like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Look at what I just found out. And who could I tell? Nobody. I could tell my mentor, and he already knew. And I had nobody to like jump up and down and cheerlead with. You know what I mean? I didn't have that. And it was hard. It was super, super tough. So having a good, strong support structure is going to help you immensely. For sure. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a very, very, very short 1 minute commercial break. And I will come right back. And when I do, please feel free to join me and come up here and ask me some questions, because I would be happy to answer them. Okay. And there's the link to join me, and I will see you all in just a moment. right. Thank you to our sponsors. And again, I want to give a shout out, encourage you guys. Go and like and follow Parapost Network, BB3 TV, and Paranormal Brew, all working to unify the paranormal community. So definitely, you guys want to keep up with that. And after my show, there's going to be another stream with April. If you guys don't know her, follow her. Great info on there too, as well. Would anybody like to join me in stream, the StreamYard link? I sound completely nuts. Here, let's throw that up there. Happy to answer any questions. They can be of a developmental nature, or they can be a personal nature. Hello, Rich. Nice to see you. Shout out. Alicia's here. That's great. It's good to see you all. Thank you so much for supporting me. You guys are fantastic. So great. Fabulous time. Let's see, we have Lauren. Okay, so she has a question. Let's throw this up here. I am just learning. Christine has really empowered me to explore my own intuition. My husband passed very unexpectedly a little less than a year and a half ago. I know he is here with me and there's more I need to do. I'm just afraid of what I'm getting into. I only want to connect with him. So here's the cool thing. I have heard that more often than not, is I only want to connect with him or her or my friend that has passed. That's the frame of thought. But the spirit realm doesn't really discern, oh, she's only, if you think of yourself as a beacon, like a light. I often say, new people, they're like bright, shiny pennies, and the spirit world is like, ooh, I want to come in and look at that bright, shiny penny. So there is no discernment between, oh, she's only turning this on to talk with him. So there is a probability, very good probability, that you will connect with other souls than just him. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't still pursue the ability. If you want to connect with him, you can. But don't shut yourself off completely from connecting with other souls. I have learned more from people who have passed than I ever have from people who are alive. The amount of insight and inspiration that they can give you is beautiful. And you never know, you can become that person that may be able to give a message to someone just like you, Lauren, that just wants to connect with their loved one. They just want to hear from them. And it's so fulfilling to have the opportunity to provide that for someone else and give them the closure. And if you can be that light and if you can be that voice, man, that's a beautiful gift. But don't worry, drop the fear. I promise you. Spirits are not as scary as you think. Okay. Can you discuss some journeys are made to be? Can you discuss also some journeys are made to be alone? I don't think I'm quite understanding. So let me think about this. As far as being in a group setting, you don't want to be with people. Can you clarify that for me? Because I don't want to answer incorrectly. And I have people in the room, but hold on for just a second. Let's see. How do you know if you have it? It's like to develop any latent skills that I may have, but I don't know if I have them. I believe at one time I may have, and I know one of my children does, but I don't know where it went. It would be super helpful for 3 people I work with if I could tune into the other world. Well, I like what I'm noticing about this is you're saying your child has it and you would like to do this for 3 other people, but you're leaving yourself out of the equation. Every single human has the capacity to develop. If you have a pulse, congratulations. You can do this. And I'm not saying that to be like snotty or sarcastic or anything like that. I'm saying it because I think that most practitioners in this field, they put on the hat of I am super special or super important, and there's only like 3 of us in the whole world, and that's not true. That's simply not true. And you can feel disconnected from the ability to do those things, but that's more being disconnected from your own discernment, your own intuition. You just need to reconnect with that. And the greatest way that you can do that is introspection with self. It's spending time with yourself, getting to know yourself all over again. And I know that sounds super hokey, but it's absolutely true. Absolutely true. If you want to open yourself back to the potential of where you once were, you can far exceed that. Far exceed that. So I hope that that helped you. Okay. So what is this? His presence is in. Yeah, absolutely. That's good. I'm glad. So you already hit the milestone of feeling. So you are feeling him. That's fantastic. That's great. Keep following that. If your clairsentience is already feeling him, then open your other clairs and allow them one at a time to feed you the information. Hello, Jay. How are you? Hello. I need to learn about grounding. Cool. We will definitely go over that. I'm going to take Miss Mary in the room. Hello, Miss Mary. How are you, love? Oh, I can't hear you. Am I the only person that can't hear? I wonder. Oh, okay. She left. I think she's going to rejoin. Sorry about that. Oh, you couldn't hear either. Thank you for saying that. Because I'm like, I hope it's just not at my end. I don't know if you guys caught my first show, but it was like technical difficulties from outer space, man. Poor April. I'm pretty sure she had to hold my hand the entire time, helping me through that. And when it comes to grounding, you know what? Next week, I'll do a whole segment on grounding. You'll love it. You will absolutely love it. Grounding is fantastic. Okay, let's see. All right. Oh, she needed to unmute her mic. Okay. So Nighthawk told me. Thank you. See, what would I do without you guys walking me through the technical stuff? Because I'm like, I don't know what advice to give. All right, she's back.
All right. Sorry about that. Somebody called like right before. And it just kind of threw me off.
No problem. I'm so glad. There was people making comments on, oh, she just needs to unmute her mic. And I'm like, I can't even walk somebody through it. So
no, I just stepped out and then started over again. No, my question is, I feel like I'm back, Megan. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've got Megan yelling in the background that you're waiting for me. Megan has an extremely strong intuition. She's had that since she was a little child. Like, she's extremely gifted in all of this.
Okay.
I've been a nurse for 40 somewhat years. I've always had a very strong intuition. Like, if I, and, I can feel things in my heart, like I know when somebody is not going to do well, even though they may not have signs of it. Like, the supervisors used to listen to me. Like, what do you think? And they'd follow through with what I would think. But I don't feel like I'm in tune with it. And my other question is, like, we went to the Philadelphia prison, the big prison in Philly. And we were walking the halls, and I saw this shadow on the wall coming up behind me. And it was clear as day. And I actually moved over because I was convinced it was a person, except it kept going and there was nobody there. So I did see something.
Okay, so what did it look? Smoky, transparent? Did it look solid? How did
just
it appear?
Like a
to
gray
you?
shadow on a wall, like somebody, like
Okay,
a shadow following somebody, except there was nobody there. So, I mean, can everybody see that, or is there something to it?
Everybody has the potential, let me tell you, but you just hit on something. And I was actually debating, I think it was last week, right, Christine? I was going to talk about that. When people are opening their clairvoyance, because there's stages, each one of our chakras, it unfolds just like the beautiful symbol of the lotus, it unfolds those petals. So as we are opening our clairvoyance, there's stages to that opening. And when people are perceiving shadows, gray to black, depending, the darker it is, the more closed your clairvoyance is. But let's say it's just open just a little bit, and you have that black, and you're seeing a shadow, you're seeing an outline. That doesn't mean it's some horrible, horrific, bad thing. It is simply you don't have your clairvoyance developed to the point of where you can make out features, colors, things of that nature.
Yeah.
It's just not open enough to do that, but that's okay.
I'm totally intrigued. I wasn't horrified or scared or anything like that. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
But that's
a great sign. That's a really great sign. I have students who come to me with, the perception of no clairvoyance when they have come to me at the very beginning. So yours is already perceiving information.
And,
it's just encouraging that.
Another place, Megan had that voice box, that box where you can speak to them and you get the answer back or whatever. Like, we could hear everything, clearly, as far as they were answering us. We had somebody that was blind with us, and he kept saying we were doing it. But no, clear as day, get out of here. And, whatever else they said, we could hear it clear as day.
Yeah.
It was fascinating, but I feel so underdeveloped compared to everybody that I'm seeing around me. It just feels odd, especially at my age,
Well,
like
the moment that, Mary, I'm telling you this, the moment that you compare yourself to somebody else is the moment that you have just literally thrown up the roadblock.
Okay.
You singularly have a wonderful capacity to develop at your greatest potential. You are unique. God didn't make carbon copies or duplicates. He made originals.
True.
So you are going to be different than everybody else. That's the way we were designed. So that's okay. That's perfect. I think it's fantastic that you're already perceiving the energy around you. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. The challenge, I think, becomes your left brain kicks in automatically. You're like, okay, I just saw a shadow, and your left brain goes, oh shit, what was that? Did I really see that? Is that a
Yeah.
for real thing? And you start dissecting it and doubting it, and it shuts down that right brain, which is perceiving the information that we need.
Right. And there was no
So
one anywhere close to me that could have made that shadow. There was nobody. They were like, 25 yards down the hallway. So I knew
right,
what I saw pretty,
yeah,
as far as
it's
it wasn't
very, very,
quite.
very, it is. It's very common for people who are just opening up to start
Okay.
perceiving that. I mean, I've had calls, or cases where people have called me and they're like, I have this and that and this in the house. And it's like, you have Aunt May, what you're seeing is Aunt May. It is not, it's an ancestor that has come to visit you. It's not something evil or horrible. So I'm really glad to hear that your first instinct wasn't scared. It was more like, wow, that just happened. What you have to do is kind of train your mind in moments like that to say to yourself, wow, that's really interesting. Give me more of that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for that. That was pretty interesting. Give
Which
me
was
more of
fab-
that and keep encouraging that.
And then we
Yeah.
brought in a piece of milk glass, which was a vase. We put it on the refrigerator, and I was out in the kitchen, and all of a sudden, apples were being thrown across the room. We had them in a bowl, and I picked them up, and I thought about it, and I put them back. Same thing. Apples and potatoes were being thrown across the room, and the only thing I can picture doing that or having anything new in the house was the
Uh-huh.
vase. So we
Yeah.
ran it
So
outside and put it out.
did anybody think to ask, like, having a communication, what are you wanting?
I
Why
I
are
did.
you throwing the
Yeah,
apple?
I didn't
You
think.
know?
I didn't think
Yeah.
about.
So,
I probably should have had Megan do it, but
yeah.
that would make
Yeah.
me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure because your first instinct is they're throwing stuff, but sometimes throwing stuff is to get your attention. Not
Yeah,
every time, but sometimes it's just to get your attention. And in my experience, 10 out of 10 times when I address the energy that's present, they just want to talk. They just want to talk. They're not of a malicious nature in those circumstances. So,
yeah, it didn't
but
hit me though. Hit
very,
around me. Thank you.
you're so welcome. Thanks for joining. I
Yes,
hope you have a
much.
fantastic day. Thanks so much for your
You too.
questions, Mary.
You.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. Yeah, ancestors, exactly. Very cool. Okay, what is this one? Let's see. I used to see a shadow man with a hat when I was younger. No longer see it. Scared me all the time, and it felt like a bad presence. So again, I'll say the exact same thing that I said earlier. Very common that I would get calls. I have this, I have that in my house. There is this presence. It feels really bad. And then I will go to the house and I will describe what I'm seeing, the person. And it's like, nah, this is definitely an ancestor on mother's side of the family or whatever it may be. And all of the information will check out. And it's like, yeah, what happens is our brain attaches and we start to perceive that black means bad. This, because we get scared when we can't see every single detail, we perceive it to be bad or wrong or evil. And I pray to God when I die and I come back and I'm walking around that somebody will remember these words and not think that I am something horrible and have a little mercy, because it happens all the time, all the time, all the time. Hello, Dominic. Great to see you. Frank, are you wanting to come on here? I think I have Frank. Let's see.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Frank. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're looking good tonight. Sounding really good too. Nice, clear signal.
Thank you. So, everyone, this is Frank. He is an elder from our tribe. Super stoked to have you. How are you doing?
Good. I'm actually paying my respects to the element of fire. I'm sitting outside and saging the neighborhood.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good, right?
Yeah, but no, I had a question earlier, and when you were talking about, you know, the question I asked it was if you could touch on some journeys are meant to be alone, and I just wanted to say, because I know some of my situations are meant to be alone for me, to make sure that I've absorbed what is being taught and what spirit is trying to show me.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So, I think you're a perfect example of somebody who traversed, your path wasn't easy. It was winding, it was really easy as you were kind of mucking your way through, right? And you're like, oh, this is what I should do. Oh, this is what I should do. And there you were met with a lot of resistance in your personal life in regards to that. And I think it was even a little bit scary for you to even say, okay, this is what I am. It took some time to own that. So, yeah, walking that personal path was very important for you to get to trust yourself and know yourself and have the confidence within yourself to reveal it, I guess, and own it.
Well, and then too, spirit put you in my path and helped me stay on the path that I needed to be on, and here I am today because of that.
Yeah, good times though. It was good. It's good. And that was a long time ago. I think about that was a while. Wow.
Yeah, you're talking 2015, I believe.
Yeah. It didn't even occur to me. I think it was 14 or 15. I don't know.
It was probably, yeah, you're right. It was like late 14.
Yeah. It's definitely been a minute. So, but I remember when I first had met you and you're like, I'm doing mediumship. And I'm like, you're a healer. I remember that. And you're like, no, I'm just really good at knowing what's going on within the ailments of other people's body. And I'm like, are you listening to yourself? It's really, really cool. It's really cool. So, yeah, I think that's an excellent point that you made, for sure. I think that we are here to develop and grow to our best potential, whatever it may be. Just like some people are born to be lawyers or doctors, some people are born to be healers and psychics and mediums, And if you need to walk that path solo, if you need to do that journey by yourself because you are concerned about perceptions or backlash or anything like that, that's okay too. There is no right or wrong way, guys. There really isn't. There is no right or wrong way. It is whatever way that sits with you, that is best for you, that feels good to you. At the end of the night, you're the one that has to live with you, nobody else. Mm-hmm. You have to live with your decisions. So who the heck am I to tell you what you should and shouldn't do,
Yeah, and then like you had taught in class in so many of your forums that, once you have trust and once you're able to release, it just all falls into place.
Oh yeah, trust. Trust is like, if I could bottle that and sell that, I would be like a millionaire. Just trust, but it's hard. It's hard. It really is. I know it was hard for me because it's ironic that I'm even in this path because I've always been that person, where I'm questioning the hell out of every single thing. It's like, no, prove it, like I want to see the proof. I want it to be tangible, So it's definitely ironic for sure.
Yeah. And once you say that, show me, boy, will they show you. So you really
Yeah.
better be careful what you ask for, because they will show you.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. What did I say? It was like a year and a half, 2 years ago or something like that. It's been a minute, but I remember going, oh, I just need a vacation because I was just slammed. Do you remember? I was doing like 60, I was working like 60 hours a week. I had classes, booking. And then I got sick and I was down and I was out for and I mean, that was crazy. And I'm like, Spirit did this on purpose. So be careful what you ask the universe for, because they will give it to you,
Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Love you. Love the tribe. Love everybody on here. Keep on getting it, please. We enjoy it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Frank. You're such a doll. It's definitely a pleasure to have you. Have a great night, love.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust. Trust for sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have, let's see, 3 minutes left. We love you too. We have like 3 minutes left. If anybody wants to jump up here real quick. Going once. Okay. Go ahead. Ask a question. I'm happy for you to ask a question. Thank you so much, Lauren. It's such a pleasure. Thank you all for joining me. You guys are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This is great. Yeah, definitely. Oh, you guys are nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, it won't let me. It won't let me. Tried to ask a question. It won't let me. That's okay. You know what? That's okay. No worries. We'll get it next time. So for everyone that's viewing, please. Oh, here we go. We have something from Rebecca. Let's see. Is there the potential for your mind to sit things out to prevent you from being overwhelmed like it does for typical things? So actually, there is a method that I teach that can direct your mind in a sorting process so you will not get overwhelmed. But typically what happens for newer individuals is that they just open up. And as they're opening up, they can become overwhelmed. Now, can you shut here? She kind of fed off of that and I'm reading. So I'll throw this up here. Shut things out. Can you shut things out? Yeah, you can absolutely shut things out. Absolutely. You can shut things out. You can turn it off. You can say, no, thank you. I don't want any more of that. For sure you can. And it's setting boundaries with the information that you want to perceive. So, well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Be sure to like and follow. Parapost Network, BB3 TV, and Paranormal Brew, and catch April because she'll be coming on right after this stream. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the night, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.